All right, well, we're getting there. Glass is up off the ground, tarp's up. Most of the glass is out of the door itself. A little bit down there, we'll get to it later, but just wanting to move on. So here is the new window. Here you can see the bottom black brace that's going to connect into our power window system, and then of course the glass comes up and around. So we're going to figure out how to get this thing in here. Doing some quick looking. I think I know how. You'll notice this little trim piece here. I think we're going to take this trim piece off, and that's going to hopefully leave us enough space right in here that we can bring that window down and in. You have to bring it in at an angle with this portion nose down. Get it down in there, and then as we come down, hopefully we can set it in like that. So let's give it a try. You can watch and see. Okay. All right, it's generally down in there. Now let's see if we can square it up. One thing I didn't mention a while ago is that, particularly because this is the driver's side door, and all the master controls on the driver's side door for the windows, we've actually had to bring our little door panel back over here and set it on the ground and do some temporary plug-in in order to move our window unit up and down. Right now it's all the way at the bottom, and that's where we're going to work with it for now, but you are going to have to move that up and down. In order to do it, you're going to have to at least temporarily plug the door panel back in. So just don't want to drop this thing. Now what we really need to do here is there's a track on the sides that this thing must find its way into. And I'm currently trying to sort out how to go about that. And I'll let you know how that turns out. And that part wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. See if I can show you here. You'll notice this track, if you follow this track on down, continues on into this inside the door. This window must fall into that track. And similarly, on the opposite side, you can't see it very well. But there's a track continues on down. You just got to make sure as you guide that window down in there, as I did, that you just make sure that this window hits this track. And so once it's down, again, like I said, our window's at the very bottom. All of a sudden, these little pins that we were seeing now engage with their resting point. You can't see the other side. One on each side, but you can see them engage. Now I'm going to go ahead and stick this pin in, only because, well, we'll never have a better view of this than that. So basically, this pin goes in to holes right back there, and it just pushes around the pin that's on that metal plate that holds the window in, just like so. So I'm going to raise the window, and I'm going to do the other side, and then we're close to finished with the window. Well, the window's in. As I said, make sure it goes into the tracks that are in each side of the door right here. Once it's down inside, get in the tracks. In my case, I had the window bar unit all the way at the bottom, so I was able to get all the way down, line up the first side, which was accessible from here, and then I slowly lifted it and then put the other pin in from this side where it belongs, right inside there. So both pins are in. Windows installed. You can give it a little. Goes up and down. Yes, I did find a bit more glass in the track. I did have to take care of that. I also reinstalled this bottom track that you see here. This just presses back down. So, windows done. We're going to move on to the mirror. Well, for those of you who might be curious which mirror we're going to install, again, this came off of eBay. This is the heated replacement. Be sure whether yours is heated or unheated. This one on this Limited is heated, and I'll show you the best way to tell if it's heated. But so there you go. Left hand, driver's side, one mirror, one empty box. Here's the mirror. And this is how you know if it's heated. There's a little symbol in the mirror, which is a square box with some arrows pointing down in it. That's indicating that it's a heated mirror. And you'll see the same thing also on our original mirror. So we know we're right. So in order to take this thing out, just for information, I was taking off that rubber pad earlier that went here around the mirror. The new mirror does come with a rubber pad, so it's not a problem if that thing does accidentally get tore up. The new one's not as thick as the old one, but so be it. We can deal with that. So you'll notice here we've got some little thread protectors on the new mirror that we're taking off, and that exposes these stud posts. These are 10mm studs, or excuse me, nuts on here. I have pre-loosened them. So if you just remove these 3 10mm nuts and washers, that will mechanically free the mirror from the car. This wire bundle that passes through the door frame does have a little rubber plug. You have to disengage. We've got to disengage this rubber plug right here after you take out these 3 studs. And there you go. Now we can get rid of this thing and go on with the new one. So here's the new one. It goes on just as easy as it seems, literally. If you have the right side on the right side, which we do in this case, I'm glad to report, then you just put this up. Now we're going to put this this rubber grommet through the hole in the window and get it to seal up first. And it's just as easy or difficult as you think it would be. You know what? I was wrong again. We're going to put that rubber, we're going to save that inside rubber seal. There's a rubber seal on the outside, and that is where we're putting the new rubber seal. So the new rubber seal will go to the outside of the vehicle. We'll reuse the thicker internal rubber seal, which very obviously looks right now. Didn't look right a while ago. What you're going to do. So we put the rubber seal back on right here. Put this back through. And it's also going to make this plug a lot easier to get in here. So work the rubber seal around until it pops into place. I'll show you that rubber seal up close in a minute. So we're going to go ahead and pull the wire taut as we line up bolt holes. There's also some alignment pins there that have to go in as well. And then we're going to get these bolts started real quick. Nothing else, just to hold it in place while we look at our work. Alright, so now strictly a matter of tightening up these 10mm bolts, and we're done. Well, the new mirror's in. New mirror looks good. On this side we put in those 3 10mm nuts, and then we put this rubber pad back on, pulling the wire through the rubber pad. And then one thing I didn't mention, on the outside there actually was a little corner protector thing stuck on here that took off. Didn't take it off where you could see it. So we look good. Question is, does it work? Let's go see about getting this door face reinstalled and hook everything up, and we'll see if it works. A couple things. That rubber panel is pretty done for, but I'm going to tell you that rubber panel is important. It's actually there to keep water that runs down the back side of your window into the top of your door. There's actually water that will run back there in the rain, and this seal is intended just to help keep that on that side of the world. And so we're going to need to find some heavy plastic or rubber membrane and replace that. For now, we're going to finish this job for today and move on. One thing you need to do next, go around, find all these little guys, clips that got stuck in the door. Make sure all the clip holes are clear, and I've got one more clip to remove there. Now in our case, we're also going to replace these clips. I tell you, these clips, one use, you're pretty blessed to get a use out of them. This one actually, I'm going to put it back in, looks fine. But very often you won't get that much use out of them. So be prepared to replace them. At this dealership, these guys cost you $2 or $3 a piece. On Amazon, you can get them 50, 100 at a time for literally pennies on the dollar. So get those from Amazon. In my case, I work on a lot of Jeep Grand Cherokees. So to replace them, you literally just come around here. They have a head that looks like that. So this door panel is going to go in that larger slot, and so you just put them in like that. Then we're going to go all the way around. If we have one like we have here, we're going to go ahead and replace it, and we'll make them all the new and the yellow. Going back together with this thing's about like taking it apart, except backwards. First thing we're going to do is we're going to plug in our wiring. We want to make sure we get all the wiring first time out. You don't want to do this twice. So we'll start with the wiring, and then we'll see about those bars. Here's the mirror. And those are the mirror wires. Alright. And so I believe that's all the wiring. Now what we're going to do is we're going to find a home for some of these bottom pins in these holes, just to get them started. We'll come back to them. Now we bring our bars back. I'm not going to give you a close-up on this, obviously with taking them out. Put them back to the hole. You turn the little yellow clip and snap it over the bar. Sorry, little battle going on here. So that's in. That one's in. And make sure our wire plugs clear some things in there. And now it's a matter of finding the home of those clips in the correct holes, and then going back together. Alright, so let me do a quick finish up here on this video. Door panels installed. As I said, line up as many of the little yellow clips as you can, and then there's a screw here, both Phillips in this case, and in this case there's a Torx. Oh, back right up in that hole up there. So windows in, mirrors in. Let's see if everything's working. Here comes the window. Seems okay to me. I like it. And then the mirror. Here's the controls for the mirror. go to left mirror, go up, yep, go down, go right, go left. Not going to worry about testing the heating function. Just to say, mirror works. You can see through the mirror clearly, and not as before. So everything's back to as it should be, with the exception of that plastic rubber membrane. So I'll see about that. Probably going to get a piece of thick, heavy plastic. We'll take that door panel back off and use some silicone or something to get a reasonable seal. I hope this was useful to you somehow. Feel free to like, comment, share our videos. We're glad to do them. We enjoy it very much. I hope it's useful to you. Thank you. Bye-bye.